Hey folks, welcome back. It's been a day or so since you've seen my face. So, a while back I spoke of when I spoke to my kid sister who lives out of state about the hard times and what may be coming down the road, what I believe is coming down the road, what a lot of us feel are coming down the road. And her response was just a smile, right? Just a smile. It's pretty hard to interpret a smile. So, that was just a couple, 3 months ago, right? So that weren't very long ago. Sorry, I had a rooster up here in the garden. I had to shoo away because it likes to be by my feet and go cock-a-doodle-doo, right? So the geese are over here. They're content over there in the garden. So, we had a death in the family, and my kid sister came up, and I asked how things were going, and we just got talking about this and that. In just a short while since she was up here this last time, things have changed as far as the cost of living goes, right? She goes, I'm going to be honest with you. She goes, we're really struggling. She goes, we've cut a lot of stuff out of our life that we need to cut down on that was costing money. So now they budget very closely, right? Everything has gone up. They don't eat anything that's bad for them. They eat all healthy food. And I'm not talking organic food that you get into a store, folks. I'm talking about well-balanced meals because she's a nutritionist, right? So there's no junk food, there's no extras, and there will be no leftovers thrown away. Nothing goes to waste anymore. She goes, every penny counts. And I said, yeah, you do realize in such a short time that has come to be where you have no extra spending money, right? I said, and it's only going to get worse. I said, you realize that, right? And she quickly agreed with me. There was no smile this time, folks. So I asked her, I said, have you, and I've done this before, asked her if she planned on coming back home. But this time I asked her again. I said, do you plan on coming home if times got bad? And she thought about that for a minute, but it was a brief moment, folks. She said, in 4 years, that would be ideal, she said. The kids would be all grown up. I said, 4 years? I said, look what's happened in the last few months, sis. Look what's happened in the last few months. I said, 4 years from now, we don't know what's going to happen 4 days from now. We don't know what's happening 4 months from now. We just don't know. The way things have been sped up, I think 4 years is almost like an eternity, right? So I said, but if things got bad, would you at least consider coming back home? We would make things work here. We would make it work. Somehow we would make it work. And she said that she would go home and talk to her girls, all right? One is in college. The oldest one is in college. The middle child is in college, and she joined the National Guard, which is really good. And the other one is in high school. So my sister originally thought that, once her youngest child graduates, then she would then consider moving back home. Well, that's 4 years, right? So we got talking about this and that, and she goes, do you really think it's going to get that bad? Do you really think everything is going to come crashing down? And I said, I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't see into the future. I said, but the way things are going and the way things are looking, I would like you to come home. I would like you and the girls to come home. I said, we will make it work. And I said, you need to do this before all hell breaks loose, because they would have to drive through DC, they would have to drive through New York, and they would have to drive through Massachusetts, right, to get all the way up here where we are here in Maine. I said, if you wait too long, you might not be able to get through any of those states or any of those cities and be safe whatsoever. I said, I really wish you would think about it. She promised me that she would talk to her girls about that. So folks, it's already hitting. It's already hitting. My kid sister is a single mom. She's a nutritionist. She's got a very good job into a nursing home down her way. She's very good at what she does. She is a workaholic. All three of us girls really like to stay busy. We don't mind getting our hands dirty, and we don't mind doing what needs to be done. So when I'm just gonna tell a little funny, as my twin sister would say. When on Monday, when I picked her up at the airport, she rode home with me. I had my windows down. I had I don't know if it's called the sunroof or not. It just goes back into the back part of the vehicle. I don't know. You just push a button and it goes back. And I had some loose change on the dashboard, and I had my cell phone in between the seats, right out in plain sight. And you know, a headlamp sitting there, and nothing was locked up. The car wasn't locked. My vehicle wasn't locked up. Everything was wide open. And she goes, "You dare to do that? How do you dare to do that? How do you dare to do that?" And I said, "Well, I do know the airport parking lot has pretty high security. I do know that. And I have never had a problem yet. Doesn't mean I won't have a problem. It doesn't mean I won't have a problem, folks. But that's the difference. Even though we have crime up here and we have a lot of homelessness, especially around the airport, it's still a lot better than where she is coming from, right? Which is a city in North Carolina. And she said that she was going to talk to her girls. She told me that several times, okay? So if she's a very honest person, if she says she's going to think about something, she will think about it. If she knows there's an option on the table and she needs to protect her girls, she will make that happen. All right. Where there's a will, there's a way, right? Now, I told her, I said, you know how I live. Right now, I have a dry well. I don't know if I have a dry well, folks. I haven't checked it. So, and we've had a little bit of rain, so I might have some water in there. So I really can't say I have a dry well. I know it's not full. It can't be full by now. So, and she knows I have birds. There's a lot of chores, and there's garden. There's a lot of stuff to do in the garden. And if times got really hard, that everybody would have to pitch in. And she finished my sentence for me. So she knows how we live. She was brought up a lot like this, okay? She was brought up right beside me. Even though she's 5 years younger, she remembers what it's like living here in Maine and the lifestyle that we have here. So I know there's a good work ethic, but I needed to remind her that she needs to leave before all hell broke loose so she can get home safely, and what she would need to bring. And she said that she would make a list of everything that they would need to bring. So that's where that stands. When somebody would just smile at you when you mentioned it just a few months ago, and reality is hit when it hit the pocketbook, right? How times are, and the struggles already, and it's just beginning. It's just beginning. So you do what you have to do. Put those little plants in people's ears. Follow up with them. Now, I'm not saying go full bore. Shit is going to hit the fan, and you need to do this. You need to do that. So you have to start out gently, sometimes months ahead of time. And when you hear that they are struggling, and you confirm that you understand what she is going through, and you do it sincerely, and you do it out of love, at least for my sister, I revisited that. A lot of people I wouldn't, folks. I'm tired of the laughter, but you know, if my kid sister is coming around and seeing it, other people that I have spoke to before may be starting to see it as well, and maybe that goes for you. So maybe you can gently touch on the subject again about preparing, or maybe learning how to do this and do that, the skills, and looking ahead a little bit, and maybe, I don't know. That's going to be your choice. Some of you have been burned pretty hard, and I understand that. I have been burned pretty hard by trying to help somebody I cared about too. I understand that. But I reached out to my sister, my kid sister, and it was received, and I got it, and at least, yes, we will come up. Yes, we will come up before it gets too bad. And she will talk about this with her children, who are very mature for their age. And will it be in 4 years? I don't know. Will it? Depends on what happens and how quick it happens, right? Something could happen overnight and they still couldn't get home, right? It could be all, as she would say, honky-dory one day, and the next morning you're kind of trapped where you are. It could happen that fast, depends on what happens, right? So we'll see, folks. I'm glad I reached out again. I hemmed and hawed for a little bit over that, and I just found the perfect timing and the perfect words to gently ease into that, to get a feeling of it. So it worked out for me. So that's all I'm going to say, folks. Now I've got a lot to catch up, folks. I have, oh my goodness. I've got so many babies that came off in the last couple of days, folks, that it's just insane. It's insane, and no time to rearrange anything. And I haven't lost any, folks. I haven't lost any, but the guinea keats are hatching, the ducks are hatching, the ducks and guinea are mothering the babies, and I've got a hen mothering guinea fowl, and you know how that goes. But so far so good. Now I've got a few mean guinea fowl that just don't want a baby tag along behind them because they think it's their mama, right? So I've got to be mindful of that. So today, for the rest of the day, I am going to work on my birds. I've already taken a walk through my garden. In just a couple of days, well, 3-4 days, folks, the garden got beyond me. It just got beyond me. And it just is what it is, right? It is what it is. I can still do a lot, but some things have gone by. And as it's August 30th, and the garden looks like it would at the end of September. So everybody feels that we are going to get a early fall. On the far side of the bog, there's already maples that are trying to turn and have turned. Birch are trying to turn. Right behind me looks all right, but they're getting a little faded. But over there, the maples, those bright red leaves, fall leaves, folks, are already out. And they come out fairly early anyway, but never this early. I will be doing a pros and cons to raising guinea fowl. I'm looking forward to that, actually. And I just wanted to say, some of you won't speak of people preparing because of the reaction you got last time. I have said that as well. But this is my kid sister, and I took a gamble, and I went into it gently. And it was received very, very well, which I am pleased about, right? So that's all I've got to say for right now. I might do another video later. I do not know. Depends on how long the birds take me. And have a good day, folks. Thank you.